Heaven's California.
Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video, and Overwatch is a team game. Okay, Overwatch is a team game. I want you, if you're out there and you play Overwatch, I want you to sit there and think about that statement. Overwatch is a team game. Overwatch is a team game. Overwatch is a team game. I want you to drill that into your brain whenever you're sat in your chair, whether you're on your PC, your Xbox, your PS4. I want you to sit there and say Overwatch is a team game, because for a new player this can be quite overwhelming. Overwatch, we have no, before we do that, I'm going to explain today what we are doing. Today we're going to be breaking down the Overwatch character selection screen. The character selection screen is the most important aspect of the game. You can win or lose a game of Overwatch in this screen. So when you're in a competitive game, you'll have 6 people pop up here. Now the first thing I do when I have this, I press start, I press social, I go to groups. My team will have the whole data, so we'll have 6 players there, 6 players on the enemy team as well. And I'll have a look and see what we have. And normally we'll have 5 DPS and 1 healer, which is me. Now I'll come onto my role in Overwatch well, later on in the video. But you know, just so we know, starting from the left, these are attacking heroes. These are defensive heroes. I normally just take them 2 categories out. They're just one category for me. They are DPS heroes. They are damaging heroes, damage per second heroes. These heroes right here, these are tank heroes. These can be split into 2 different groups. We have our main tanks. Let me move this down a bit. We have main tanks. Main tanks. Orisa, kind of, I suppose. Reinhardt and Winston. These are our 2 main tanks. Stroke 3 with Orisa, even though I wouldn't quite class her as a main tank. Moving on, we have the support heroes, 5 of which are healers. We have Anna, Lucio, Mercy, Moira, and Zen. Symmetra is a support. You know, she supports the team in a different way to, you know, Moira, Mercy, Lucio, Anna, and Zen. Now these 5 healers can be broken up into 2 different categories. We can have main healers, primary healers, and we have secondary healers. Primary healers, Mercy, Anna, primarily, with an acceptance to how you play Moira, she can be used as a primary healer. Our secondary healers, Moira can fall into that category as well. We have Lucio and we have Zen. And also with our tanks, we have the primary, like I said, and we have secondary tanks like Zarya, Roadhog, and D.Va. Now this is where we can lose games. This is where we can 100% lose games. I'd say 70% of my losses come in this screen. Not because we've been outplayed by the enemy team, or we've just about lost it narrowly. We've been steamrolled because of our team selection. Now what do you need to have an optimized team selection so far? Well, ideally you'd have 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 2 DPS. The DPS really can function, you know, you can build your team around a certain player. Say I was going to choose a Soldier 76. Now Soldier 76 can fit into any team really. You could have a Soldier and a Tracer, a Soldier and a McCree, a Genji, you could have Soldier and Junkrat, Soldier and Bastion for defense. But a lot of people play Soldier. If you saw your DPS had chosen a Genji and you had a Tracer, that would imply to me that if we were attacking or defending, these DPS want to play a dive comp. Now, how would you play a dive comp? Quite simple. We've seen it play in the World Cup. You choose a D.Va, you choose a Winston, you choose a Lucio, or a Zen with a Mercy. That is how it would work right now. Or maybe even a Moira. You could throw a Moira into there because she's quite divey as well. But that normally doesn't happen. Normally, for your generic defense, you'd want Reinhardt, you'd want a... Let me check all his text messages. Okay, so, sorry about that. We have Reinhardt. Now, Reinhardt is a very good defensive and offensive hero. He can walk forward with his shield and... Oh, damn it, we're going to be remained inactive. Hang on a minute. I don't want to be removed from the match. So this guy here, look, he has a 2,000 health barrier. If you choose him, it will be a very, very good pick. Okay? Now, you could alternatively, for more of an attacking hero, could go for Winston and try and put a bubble around them healers at the back and take them out. But, you know, I can't tell you what character to play. I can just advise you on what the optimal setup is right now. Now, as long as you have one of these main tanks, you are fine. If you have someone who locks a Roadhog or a Diva or a Zarya, you probably want to have 2 tanks. But what you don't want to do is sacrifice 2 tanks for 2 healers. If you have 2 healers is great. You want a primary healer, normally a Mercy in most circumstances, and I just never really got on with Vanna that much. And then you want a secondary healer, either a Lucio or a Zen, maybe a Lucio on attack and Zen on defend. But again, you can't really make that assumption up too much. So that is what you want. You want a Mercy and you want one of them. And your DPS, you can choose whatever DPS you want. Obviously, you might not go over a Bastion or a Torb on attack, because they're more of a defensive, hold-to-choke character. A lot of people will instantly go for the Reapers, the McCrees, the Genjis, the Soldiers, the Tracers, the characters that are higher level. Okay, they're the higher level. Because they want a one-trick, they want to go in, they want to do whatever. Now, this is more important. I'd say the character selection screen is more important right now than actually, team. It's difficult because, if you could have 6 DPS. I've had 6 DPS roaming before just because of their teamwork. But right now, I'd say you want to focus really, before actually focusing on your teamwork, you're going to want to find the character and you're going to want to play them. You don't want to be switching across loads of characters. I see people, and for this season they've got about 5 or 6 characters. They seem to just keep switching along. You want your role. Now your role your role and your main are different, because your role can be something else. You might not be a specific soldier player. You might be a DPS player, and your main DPS is a soldier. And then you might be able to play a McCree, you might be able to play a bit of Junkrat, or a bit of Hanzo. But primarily, you'd want to be playing soldier. You want to be playing your main. You want to be playing a character that you're most comfortable with. Now, for me right now, I've been playing a lot of Mercy. But don't forget, I've played 98 hours on Reinhardt. And a lot of people, I had someone last night, I wonder if the message is still here. We were queuing in a game, and this person right here came to me and said, why didn't you Mercy? She messaged my cousin. She said, why did your partner not Mercy? And he was like, well, because we needed a shield tank. We did need a shield tank, and she was playing a Moira. Now, if you're playing a Moira, that's fine. You can solo heal sometimes. When you're defending, especially defending, you need a shield. My controller batteries are low, that is fine. You need a shield. So I said, by the way, the reason I couldn't Mercy was because we needed a main tank. She said, no, we needed a second healer, but never mind, we can't change it now. You do need 2 healers, but I find myself in this situation. I know that I can play primary tank, offset tank, second healer, and main healer. When I see someone go Moira, I don't know if they're going to be more attacking with the damaging orb, or more retreated with the healing orb. This one was very offensive and was going and charging out very, very quickly. And the problem we found here, that our Moira kept dying, no one was grouping up behind my shield. And that's a problem that I face. I see straight away that 4 people have locked in DPS. I'm then sitting there and I'm saying, we now need 2 people to fill a hole that's caused by this 4 DPS thinking they're fantastic, are going to carry the team. It's a team game, okay? Sometimes you'll have to play a character that don't really want to play. Uh-oh, I'm being removed for inactivity. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, I find myself in a situation where sometimes there's 4 DPS, and I'm there, and someone has, say, locked in a Zarya. Now, the problem I find myself is now, I'm sat there, and I'm thinking, we need a healer. So I'd lock Mercy. But then we're going to get out-ultimated. We're going to get... The enemy team are going to... No matter what they're going to do, they're going to be hitting us. Whatever they're shooting at, we have nothing to block damage, which is why you need a Winston or a Reinhardt. And it just confuses me sometimes that people don't see that we need one of these 2 players with 2 healers. And, you know, a lot of people love playing DPS because they feel they carry the team. They feel they've got, I don't know, 40, 50 eliminations and they go, oh, I've absolutely carried this team. But you really haven't, because if you didn't have a Reinhardt and you didn't have, say, your D.Va or your Roadhog, you didn't have your Mercy healing you, and you didn't have your secondary healer like a Zen putting a Discord on, you wouldn't have got as many eliminations, you'd be dying a lot more. So the word carry is very much misused in Overwatch. It is one of these, you know, taboo words which I don't like people using because it doesn't feel right. You know, people want to play DPS because they're carrying the game. You can have a healer or a tank carrying the game. You know, you can have your Reinhardt block a lot of ultimates, or he could come in and win you a point with 1 Earth Shatter, or Winston could Primal Rage and knock everyone off the point to win you a point. You know, the DPS isn't the only thing that can carry a team. You can carry a team with a Winston, or you can know if you're Winston and you're going to the back every time, you're finding that healer, you're killing them, and you're popping back over with the team. That's a carry for me. You are very much impacting the team. It's not just DPS characters that do make an impact on the team. You're thinking of Discord Orb and you're a Zen, you're shouting, Disc on Soldier, kill him, Disc on Winston, killed him, Disc on the other Zen, killed him. You're doing very, very well. But, you know, that's just character selection. Now, also another thing you don't want to do, once you've chosen that role for that game, you then find it very difficult. I would not advise taking yourself away from that role. Unless it's like 10 seconds left on the point, you need to get onto the point quickly. And say you might lock in a Tracer, you might have a Sombra, you might have a Soldier, you might have a Junkrat that can fly on there, you might have a D.Va, Winston, you might have a Lucio. You know, just to try and survive the point not being taken. You know, I'm fine with that. But say you're mid through the game, things aren't going well, and your Reinhardt decides, you know what, say this is your team, you're defending on... What was it? We were defending on Roots. No, we were defending on Temple of Anubis, and we had a Junkrat, we had a Bastion. That's fine. 2 decent DPS. We had I think we had a D.Va. We had a Reinhardt. I was on Mercy, and someone else might have been on Zen or something. Say, and this Reinhardt here, he decides, you know what? I'm going to switch and I'm going to play Soldier. This now means if your D.Va doesn't change to the Reinhardt, which could be taking them out of their comfort zone, they might not be good with shielding tanks. And we're going to be removed for inactivity again. Jeepers, let's just throw the bomb down. There we go, look at that. Boom. Okay, so you can't, it's not really a fact that you can't really change from that tank role. It's not fair on the rest of the team. Once you've chosen that main tank role, you're going to have to stick with that main tank role. Why did you choose it in the first place? Yes, you might be getting killed a lot, but the reason you might be out of position, the rest of the team might not be behind your shield. You know, there's a lot of reasons why you might not be getting what... You're not really feeling what you should be feeling playing that character. And it's the same, you know, DPS... You change from DPS don't really have this issue, but it's these 2 roles, really. The main tank, the offset tank, the primary healer and the secondary healer, they're the most 4 important roles in the team for me. You know you're going to get 2 DPS a game, because everyone wants to play DPS, so I don't worry about DPS. These are the players, these are the characters These 12 characters are the ones I'm worried about the most. These are the 12 I'm sat there thinking, if we don't get at least 2 or 3 of these 12, we're going to have a very, very hard time winning this game. Because, you know, they kill the healer, you are solo healing, you kill the healer, that's the fight lost. You're going to lose that fight more than likely unless you get lucky. Or you take down the barrier and you've only got, say, a Roadhog left. He can get isolated. Then they're going to go and find the 2 healers, who might be these 2. Then you got your 2 DPS, which might be a Soldier and a McCree or a Genji. And then you're pretty much screwed. So, you know, character selection is one of the most, if not the most important thing you can do in Overwatch. You know, the character you select is the most important decision you'll make for that game. And you have to make that decision. You know, your team might be relying on you to make that decision. So you have to look at what your team have got and think, right, I might be a DPS player, but I know if I have to, I can play a Hog or I can play a Zen at a fairly good level. For this game, I'm going to have to sacrifice my DPS. I'm going to have to go and switch to a tank or go and switch to healer for the sake of the team. Because you don't get any SR for getting gold medals. Okay, you get SR for one thing, that's winning the game. And, you know, you can't win the game with 5, 4. You're going to be very lucky to win the game with 5 DPS. Lucky to win with 4. You're just about, you can get it done with 3 as long as you have one of these 3 tanks here putting up a barrier. But, you know, I think I'm going to end it there, otherwise I'll just talk all day. Thank you all for watching this video. Leave a like down below if you have enjoyed. Leave a comment. What do you think about character selection? What do you play on Overwatch? What can you limit yourself to? And also, what do you think about what I've said today? Is character selection more important than teamwork, or is teamwork more important than character selection? If you can build a good team, your teamwork is going to be better than if you're building a rubbish team and you've got 5 DPS all wanting to kill one another. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But just drop a comment. You know, just drop a comment. You know, after comment on what I've said today. Do you agree with it or do you not? Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure to turn them notifications on. Share the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.